It is our main event here at KANG-OWAN on TNT4. For the light heavyweight world championship, Myanmar versus the Netherlands, 2 BJJ stylists, 8 centimeters taller as RDR. Here's Dom Lau.
Ladies and gentlemen, this is the main event of the evening. 5 rounds of 5 minutes for the one light heavyweight world championship. Our 3 judges scoring this bout at circle side are Thomas Ginberg of Sweden, Rosenberg Rossetti of the Philippines, and Darren De Silva of Singapore. This match is presented to you by JBL. Dare to listen. Introducing first, out of the blue corner, he is the one middleweight world champion, standing at 193 centimeters tall, holding a perfect mixed martial arts record of 13 wins and no losses. Training out of Combat Brothers, representing the Netherlands. Stepping into action is Reineir, the Dutch Knight, And introducing his opponent, out of the red corner, he stands at 185 centimeters tall, holding a mixed martial arts record of 26 wins and 11 losses. Training out of Sanford MMA, representing Myanmar. Get ready for the reigning and defending one light heavyweight world champion, the Burmese Python, Ola Nsang.
Let's go on.
And when the action begins, your referee in charge, Mr. Olivier Coste.
I guess watch out for the headbutt, low blow, back of the head and spine. Fight fair, fight clean. Touch glory if you want, and back your corner.
April 29, 2021, 11:14 a.m. Singapore time. Never in the history of fight sports has an athlete hunted a man across 2 weight divisions to try and take 2 world titles from him. But that is what Reineir is trying to do tonight. Looks immediately to take down Ong La and does.
Oh, that was so simple. Stepped in, got nice and tight, and immediately went in for the double leg. Now, this is really important for Ong La. He's got to push off the head, get his back up against that wall, and start working his way back up. De Ridder is very hard to stop once he gets that body.
Yes, swipe your back across the cage this way.
Again, I talked about this before, like he took Ong La down, had that dead hip on the ground, but Ong La was able to work himself back to his feet. So until... there's still a scramble here.
Ong La, he's getting his back taken, Rich. You can see it. He's a little bit high, but you can see Ong La is doing a good job, but that hook's preventing him from doing it. Beautiful job by De Ridder to transition into half guard.
This is an established takedown fight.
Top position for Reineir, the challenger tonight. He's already the middleweight world champion, wanting to take Ong La's light heavyweight world title in half guard. Reineir cuts the hip in.
You can see Reineir De Ridder was trying to attack the Kimura on that far side arm. Ong La knew what was going on. Ong La is very talented in jiu-jitsu. He knows what's going on. Now you can see De Ridder's trying to wrap up that neck.
Still a long time to go, 2 minutes 45 remaining. First round set for 5. It's all one-way traffic right now to RDR.
Yeah, Ridder does a good job with that left leg, lacing it behind or underneath the knee of Ong La, inside the calf there. So, like Mitch said, he's got to get that foot. He's got to get De Ridder's foot on the ground, but he's got to get that leg laced out first. And you can tell with De Ridder's long legs, like this is a very difficult position to deal with for him.
De Ridder said he would tap out Ong La inside of 3 minutes. How's the defense looking from Ong La tonight, Dragon?
It's better, but he's getting, De Ridder's a little bit high, and so he has to kind of reach down to attack the neck. And Ong La learned something from the first time. He's defending his neck very well, but De Ridder is not going after the face crank like he did last time. De Ridder's got a nasty squeeze, ladies and gentlemen. He's got a vice-like, slow, pressure-style grip. Ong La's got to be very careful, and De Ridder might go into mount here.
1 minute 45.
Yep.
Okay.
And those punches from DeRitter, you can hear those.
Arm triangle.
You can hear those from up here.
Ong La's got to clear that left arm. You can see he's trying to walk to the other side.
Turning. DeRitter's turning. Is this the end for Ong La? Nsang? Is this it? Is this it?
Nice.
Holds on and he's out of trouble. That was close. Wow. That was razor close. Wow, he's out. How about this? Here comes Ong La. Looks for the hammer fist. Will he allow DeRitter back to his feet so he can work the striking? Hammer fist there from Ong La. Side control Ong La.
Wow, Ong La initiates back into the ground, jumps into the guard of DeRitter. No fear coming from Ong La.
Good right hand to the jaw there from Ong La with 1 minute to go inside the guard of the Dutch Knight.
Right there, right elbow over the top. Nice one.
Good left hand from Ong La.
There you go.
Should he be getting out of here? Should he be standing up?
I'm not sure why Ong La didn't back up and make DeRitter stand again, unless he thought, you know what, I can take the topside position here, and I'm not sure that I can defend the takedown again.
But he was easily comfortable down there. Maybe not easily comfortable, but he was able to maintain, survive 2 submission attempts, and do his work. He's like, all right, I'm not scared of you. I learned from the first time. Rich Franklin?
We're on the same page here, but all week we've been talking about how Ong La needs to keep this thing standing.
Slinging the legs, Ong La and Nsang, a turn of tide for the Myanmar superstar. DeRitter staying on his back. He does not want to get to the feet with Ong La. How taste my feet, fires another up kick. Slings the legs again to Ong La. Final stages of the opening round. Most of it was for Reineir DeRitter, but then Ong La turned the tide as we go to the towels. Wow, how about that, Rich Franklin? Ong La was almost done as Reineir DeRitter was turning, but then Ong La escaped and got to the top.
Yeah, absolutely. You can see here, DeRitter was on the back, does a great job of working the body triangle, lacing the leg with his left leg there underneath Ong La's. And this is how he spent most of the round in control. He was able to earn that takedown. Obviously, the grappling superiority on the ground most of the match, but eventually Ong La was able to turn the tides and get back on top, and so he did finish the round strong. It wasn't enough after 5 minutes to put him ahead on the scorecards. I wouldn't count this.
Second round of our main event here on 1 on TNT4 for the light heavyweight world title. Defending champion Ong La Nsang. Challenger and middleweight world champion Reineir DeRitter. Body shot from Ong La. DeRitter immediately ties him up, scoots around to the back.
Man, he's so good at that. The way that he slips around to the backside like that, but Ong La's wise to it. Now he's got to defend. He's got to stop this single leg. DeRitter has beautiful transitions. It's not just his first attempt, but it's also the second and third coming from DeRitter. Ong La's got to get very heavy on the hips. He's got to separate that grip.
Man, you look at the damage that Ong La did to DeRitter's left leg on the outside. You can't see it from this angle, but he lit that thing up when he was standing in the guard right there.
Sucked that leg in, pulled Ong La down to the mat, but Ong La's trying to work his way back up.
Still on my scorecard, guys, just so you know, I have not scored this as a takedown yet because he hasn't secured the takedown. Ong La still has the ability to get up here until DeRitter actually secures a position and begins to get offensive on the ground. It doesn't score.
Rich Franklin is not an official judge. He's just pretending to be one on TV.
Ong La momentarily glancing towards Olivia Coast.
You saw it in the last match that he had with RDR when RDR had his back, and Ong La was looking at the referee like he has nothing. He has nothing. He did the same thing against Big Dash as well, working the ref. That's veteran experience is what that is.
Man, just relentless. Goes after one, goes after the other, trying to get that single leg. Again, trying to pull out the knees. But Ong La is doing a good job of getting his legs back and then working his way back up the wall.
This is uppercut from Ong La, beautifully placed on the inside, nice and tight. And another uppercut from Ong La as RDR dropped down for a single to execute a takedown.
DeRitter was getting ready for a match, but this was taken on short notice. So as this match hits those championship rounds, it's going to start to wear on him. He wasn't prepared for this type of work.
And we saw it with Eddie Alvarez, this pressure pressure against the fence. We've talked about this, Michael, and this takes a lot of energy out of you. And one of the advantages that Ong-La always brings to the circle is his conditioning. And so as this fight goes on to the deeper rounds, particularly the championship rounds 4 and 5, that could be the difference maker.
There were a lot of questions, however, after the loss to RDR last time for the middleweight title, that Ong-La had come back, of course, from a bout of COVID, and how he managed to recover. There are still so many question marks about professional athletes recovering.
Such a smooth transition to mount there. He did that so easily.
The elbows from the towering Dutch Knight, dropping them down. Ong-La's going to give his back. No.
Nice job to wall walk, though, out of that mount. And DeRidder was forced to step over. Now he's looking to take that back again. If Ong-La can press his back up against that wall, he'll be able to defend this back take.
This is one thing that he does really well. Like, Ong-La's always very aware of his surroundings, knowing when to use the cage wall, when to wall walk. He's able to, I mean, technically what he's doing there is wall walking with his right shoulder up. And this is what's able to get him back to his feet. He does such a great job of this. This is where his veteran experience really pays off in the circle.
Man, look at those legs of DeRidder. He has been Ong-La has only landed a few leg kicks, but already you can see the welts as DeRidder easily transitions into the back again.
Puts the figure 4, trying to lock it around the body of Ong-La.
Fence, don't grab the fence.
What's he done here with his legs, Dragon?
Well, he's got one side, so he's got one hook in, and then he triangled. That's those legs of DeRidder. They're so long, and he's able to do things that most people cannot do.
Yeah, anytime that you're going to control the back, and DeRidder has a unique style here, but you always want your bottom leg to be the leg that has control, that's laced in with the hook. But then he does exactly what Mitch was talking about there, is creating a triangle, and rather than a body triangle, it's a triangle around the leg.
See how he used that to transition into side control? High-level jiu-jitsu, ladies and gentlemen, coming from Reineir DeRidder, the middleweight champion, as he's starting to soften Ong-La up with the elbows as the 10-second clapper goes.
Side control here for RDR. Knee on belly from the Dutch Knight. Drops the elbows on the forehead of Ong-La right at the end of the round. Well, another grueling round there for Ong-La and Nsang on the ground with RDR, Dragon.
Yeah, Michael, that was a dominant 10 minutes showcased by RDR, the middleweight champion, as the light heavyweight champion, Ong-La and Nsang, is just continuously defending these takedowns, Rich.
I got to wonder here if Ong-La is playing a very smart strategic game and pacing himself. He's already been in deep water with DeRidder.
His defense has leveled up, though. His submission defense, another level.
Ready? Round 3 of 5 for the light heavyweight world title, held by the man left of screen, Ong-La and Nsang, against the middleweight world champion, Reineir DeRidder of the Netherlands. Rich, how do you see it after the first 10 minutes?
Yeah, after 10 minutes of action, DeRidder, in both rounds, he was able to land the takedowns, back control, and pretty much control the ground. Ong-La had a minute to a minute and a half of shining at the end of the first round, but it wasn't enough to really close any kind of lead. So in my cards right now, DeRidder has a pretty significant lead, and if this trend continues, obviously he's going to go with the victory here. But this is still anyone's match, obviously, because we do not judge on a round-by-round basis.
Popping left hands there from RDR. Hoisting up with that right arm. Ong-La. Both men breathing hard here in the third. Lots of instructions coming from Henry Hooft and the team out of Sanford MMA from Florida in the corner of Ong-La and Nsang.
Also here, as we do in the gym,
RDR dragging the Burmese python down, puts the hooks in, gets the back control. I expect the body triangle to come here pretty soon. You can see the way that RDR is trying to lace those hips. He's going to take that leg, wrap it around him, pins him into position. Now this, ladies and gentlemen, just creates a tight squeeze on Ong-La and Nsang. Not only is he holding him there, and it's hard for Ong-La to really get out of this, to diminish on the squeeze that he has on his body, and also starts to relieve some pressure so he can get out.
We talked about Ong La doing a better job with defense here. Obviously, this choke that he's threatening, that RDR is threatening with here, he's not in any real danger yet. Oh, that was very crafty with the heel kicks to the stomach.
Right? It hurts me watching that.
But, you know, Ong La's got to be careful here. This is round 3. We talk about the championship rounds. That's where he always shines. But little by little, this match is starting to inch away from him. And it may get to the point where it's so deep that Ong La will have to earn the knockout or the submission in order to actually win this thing.
RDR thought about an armbar, couldn't lock it on.
Got the gable grip there, going for possible arm in.
Knees to the head of a grounded opponent, of course, are perfectly legal under the global rule set.
We saw the same thing with Gilbert Galval when he went to that gable grip and started laying into those knees, but also what it gives him the chance to do is set this up. He's going to attempt now to go for a Darce choke as well. That enables him to wrap those long arms, and that's exactly what he's doing. See how he's sitting into it? He's got one arm. It's basically an arm triangle inverted, so he's got that Darce choke. Let's see how Ong La defends this. He might transition and go for those knees with a gable grip. Back and forth tactics coming from RDR.
The knee that he planted on Gilbert Galval was phenomenal. Trying to drive the patella into the side of the head here of Ong La.
Well, it's just the way that the Ritter has his control here. He's so heavy on top that in a situation like this, like Ong La is having trouble moving. But man, look at him pulling right out of that. Amazing.
Tremendous from Ong La. Glances towards his corner. They're giving him instructions, trying to talk him through this predicament. Backed up against the fence. 120 remains, third round of 5.
Yeah, Michael, you said it right on the head. He was trying to peel that arm off, just listening to his coaches, and Henry Hooft is just walking him through the steps he needs to do to just survive these positions. Beautiful job by Ong La to work his way back up to the feet, but this is not where he wants to be. Ong La does his best work when he's at distance. We can utilize that big right hand, uppercuts, overhands, and also those leg kicks. He's got to create some separation.
What's funny here is that the non-Dutch fighter has the Dutch style of striking. Dutch kickboxing, it's all Ong La.
Yeah, 45 seconds. Let's go.
The man who is not called the Python squeezes.
Snake. 30 seconds.
Resting up on that left arm, Ong La. 30 seconds remains now in this round. Another big round for Reineir de Ridder, but once again, as Rich reminds us, we are scoring this as a 25-minute overall bout and not as 5 individual 5-minute rounds.
Yeah, I've spent quite a bit of time on the mats with Ong La. He's strong. So to see somebody like the Ritter just on top of him with pressure and Ong La having trouble moving him makes me wish I could have a grappling session with the Ritter.
Turn him on the cage.
I wouldn't wish that on anyone. End of the round, we go to the towels once more, folks. Wherever you're watching around the world, how do you see it so far for Nsang and Reineir de Ridder? Interesting, but Ong La's got to find a way to stay on his feet in the next round, Dragon.
Yeah, he's just so good, Reineir de Ridder is, at closing that distance, getting the body, and then taking this match to the ground.
I've got to say, Reineir de Ridder looking a little more deflated in the corner, Ong La and Nsang. But there's one thing we know about Ong La is that he will never go quietly into the Night Dragon. He'll never wave that white flag. There is no bigger heart. There is no bigger determination inside than what Ong La has.
We've seen Ong La and Nsang put people away, just like he did with Ken Hasagawa in that 5th round with that massive uppercut. Ong La and Nsang is always in it, but he has to stop fast.
And this just looks like a replay from the first match that they had with that takedown.
That one was slightly different, though. That was just a single leg. It wasn't up to the switch or the body takedown.
He didn't transition to the lock. You are correct.
20 seconds in, Ong La gets taken down, put on his back. You know, at this point in time, I don't know if Reineir de Ridder has any submission attempts that Ong La hasn't seen yet. He's always got a bag of tricks, so don't hold me to that, ladies and gentlemen. Reineir is a submission master, but Nsang needs to change this. It's good for him to be in half guard. He's got to try to get that underhook on that left side and start moving. You can see how his back is flat against the mat right there. That's not a good spot for him. The way that Reineir has that underhook and steps over into mount, that's a bad spot for Nsang.
I think part of the reason why the Ritter's able to step through like that is because his legs are so long. Like, you know, when Nsang brings that leg up from the bottom to try to protect himself from the step over into the mount, the Ritter's leg is just so long that he ends up missing it.
Shoulders up.
Dorida has the back of Nsang again, as he has every round. Will he slap on that triangle?
We're working on it. Go.
You can hear the heavy breathing, see the chest heaving on Nsang.
Because this match really is starting to run away from him.
But Rich, we saw it in the third round. When Reineir starts transitioning, starts to create these little bit of movements, Nsang was able to spin into the circle, which he's able to do right now.
Yeah, but the Ritter's not off that back yet. And there you have it. He breaks it right back down again. And that's the thing, you know, Nsang is an explosive athlete. He shows some glimmer of hope there, but that's just a testament to the Ritter's control and level of jiu-jitsu on the ground.
Hard strike to the side of the neck there from Reineir. Triangle wrapped around the body again from the Dutch Knight. Under 2 minutes remaining in this penultimate round.
Improve position.
What are the options for Nsang here, Dragon?
Well, he's got the pressure to the right side, so you can see that he's on the foot side. That's where his body weight is leaning. But the way that Reineir has the leg triangled makes it even more difficult for Nsang to move. See how his left leg is kind of trapped there? Now he's doing a good job of removing that, but as I say that, Reineir transitions into full mount. Now the arm is in a bad spot. Nsang needs to clear his right arm because Reineir is trying to drop that head down. Good job by Nsang to recover that. But then Reineir still on top.
What dominance from RDR on the ground today.
Fence.
He's mounted Nsang more times than a pommel horse. And you've got to wonder what can Nsang do with 1 minute remaining in the fourth of 5.
You know, I've been in these situations where you're just out-grappled for a long period of time, you know? But it doesn't usually happen for 20 minutes solid where you're just outclassed. And you really have to step things up. But Nsang carries that power into deep rounds, so he still has the capability to put RDR's lights out. But if the past 20 minutes have been any indication, I expect the 5th round to just continue with this trend.
Yeah, we talk about Nsang's conditioning and how he performs in the championship rounds, but man, I mean, when you have somebody like the Ritter on top of you, I've never had the Ritter on top of me, but I'm picturing what it feels like based on what I'm watching here, and it's just a long time to carry that weight.
But you have been out-grappled before.
When was that?
Never been out-grappled?
I've never been submitted.
Then sink in.
Not in a match.
Jeez, you're a brave man tonight, Mitch. I'll tell you what, little cocky calling out Rich Franklin like that. Final seconds of the round ends in full mount for RDR. 1 more round to go. Nsang must dig deep into the well of guts and intestinal fortitude to find something.
Yeah, this is just a replay here. We're seeing just Reineir transition from the back to full mount, dropping elbows. The submission attempts are just continually attacking here. You can see trying to put the ground and pound together. That might be the only way Reineir can get Nsang out of there, is to sit and mount and start just dropping bombs and empty that gas tank with the ground and pound. Nsang is tough to get out of there.
I don't think I need to go through the scorecard on this because clearly anybody watching at home can tell that the Ritter is winning this thing. But I will say that I think Nsang has gotten himself in a position now with this last 5 minutes that if he doesn't come up with some sort of finish, whether it be a knockout or submission, he may be too far behind on the scorecards.
5th and final round for the World Light Heavyweight Championship inside the Singapore Indoor Stadium. To end season 1 of One on TNT. Nsang, Reineir. It's been all Dorida so far, and he shoots in for a single early. Nsang's got to try and keep it on its feet. He stays vertical for the moment to Nsang.
Yeah, Nsang needs to start working in that underhook right there with the right arm like he just did.
The round. Hustle.
And there's the takedown. Ongla on his back with de Ridder on top inside of half guard. Not where Ongla wanted to be within 30 seconds of this last round. Divisions. Is Reineir de Ridder now 3 minutes and 30 seconds away from making history? He's in the full mount again.
Keep punching him there. Keep punching. Be smart.
This would be a massive moment if de Ridder beats Ongla tonight. Shots to the side of the head from Ongla, but he's got to find a way to get off his back. Can Ongla get there now? Can he get to his feet? Top position for Ongla. Now has the pendulum swung.
Push his chin.
Push his chin, they're saying. Posture up, work the ground and pound.
Elbows, punches.
Nice job by Ongla Nsang to explode out of the mounted position, and now he's working from the top. He's got 2 minutes and 45 seconds to really put something together, because the lead ridge has got to be gigantic for RDR.
Yeah, it's huge at this point in time, and I agree with Ongla's decision to stay on the ground in the guard here, particularly after I saw that initial takedown defense that he attempted at the beginning of this round. But it's going to be difficult for him to get it done. It's going to be difficult for him to close the gap with enough damage or near finish or whatever. He's going to have to submit or knock out Reineir de Ridder in order to win this match with the amount of time that's left.
There is no quit in Ongla Nsang. There is no surrender in the Myanmar superstar.
Posture up. You've got to get your head up.
You hear them in the corner saying, frame his chin with your hand and posture up to work that ground and pound.
Get on your toes. Push into it. Get your head up.
There needs to be more of a sense of urgency from Ongla's corner here. They have to know that this fight is slipping away from him second by second.
Drop the right elbow.
Close guard from RDR.
That posture.
Pulls the right hand out to Ongla. Can't land it cleanly, however. RDR closes down the posture again of the champion in the final seconds, but again those long arms reach up, they pull him down, they control the posture, he closes the guard. RDR shutting down Ongla Nsang. We are going to a decision here in Singapore in our main event. We may see the title change hands. Ongla pumps his fists in the air. Reineir de Ridder does not pump his fist in the air. Is Ongla seeing something different to what we're seeing, Mitch?
You know, you got to act like you're the champion. You have to at all point in time. You have to believe it inside your soul that you are the very best at all times.
Inside the Singapore Indoor Stadium, we are ready for our decision for the light heavyweight world title. Here's Dom Lau.
This match was presented to you by JBL. And to present the belt for this match, we have the chairman and CEO of One Championship, Mr. Chatri Sitchatong. And now, ladies and gentlemen, after 5 rounds of battle, we turn to the judges' scorecards. All 3 judges have called this contest in favor of your winner by unanimous decision. And new one light heavyweight world champion, Reineir de Ridder.
You have just witnessed a slice of history. The only man ever to take world titles from another man across 2 different weight divisions. The middleweight champion, now the light heavyweight champion, the Dutch knight, Reineir de Ridder.